Breaking news. Jeffry Knight, boating captain, arrested. Remember this guy right here? We talked about him a few months back. Clearwater, Florida, at the end of April, there was a terrible incident where a boat crashed into a ferry after dark. We covered this case extensively on JLR Investigates. The Florida Wildlife Commission put out a statement and said he has been charged with numerous felony counts of leaving the scene of an accident, which results in death or serious bodily injury. He went to jail overnight. He actually bonded out. Florida Wildlife Commission is going to give a press conference today that we're going to cover on this guy. But let me give you some details about his charges. We'll talk. Check it out.
First, we are tracking breaking news. A boater is now facing charges in connection to this deadly crash involving the Clearwater Ferry. Jeffry Knight's arrest comes almost 3 months to the day of the crash. This is 10 Tampa Bay News at 11. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Dave Wagner. Knight was arrested and booked into the Pinellas County Jail just before 7 tonight. He bonded out within the past hour. Knight is a prominent local businessman, crashed into the back of the ferry on April 27th. A local father, Jose Castro, was killed in the crash, and several others were injured. Video shows Knight's boat stay on scene for several minutes before driving away. Investigators say the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit stopped Knight minutes later as he drove his boat toward his home.
In letters previously sent to FWC, Knight's lawyer claimed there were issues with the ferry's navigational lighting and that its operator failed to sound a required 5-blast danger signal. They contained statements from people on board the boat at the time of the crash who say that Knight directed them to call 911 and left the scene only when the boat started taking on water.
Tonight, Knight is charged with 8 felony counts of leaving the scene of a boating accident involving death and/or serious bodily injury. Misdemeanor charges are also expected to be filed by the state attorney's office. They include failure to maintain a safe speed and failure to maintain a proper lookout, resulting in a fatal boating accident. Investigators are expected to give a briefing on the case tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll stream that on 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And ahead of that, you can find extensive coverage of this case right now on 10tampabay.com. You'll find...
Your mic's not on.
Mr. Knight, do you have any response to the charges filed against you? Do you have any message for Jose Castro's family?
Here's a statement that is put out. Florida Wildlife Commission files charges in Clearwater Ferry boat collision resulting in fatality. On July 28th, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, FWC, in conjunction with the Pinellas County State Attorney's Office, charged 62-year-old Jeffry Knight for his role in the fatal boating accident that occurred on April 27th in Pinellas County. Knight was arrested and charged with 8 counts of felony leaving the scene of a boating accident involving death and or serious bodily injury. Additional misdemeanor charges to be filed with the state attorney's office include failure to maintain a safe speed, as well as failure to maintain a proper lookout, resulting in a fatal boating accident. Knight was operating a private vessel when it collided with a commercial ferry boat carrying 45 passengers. The impact of the crash resulted in multiple injuries and 1 fatality. FWC investigators determined that Knight had left the scene of the crash and traveled south towards his residence, where the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office stopped him on the water. Officers from FWC, along with personnel from the Clearwater Police Department, Clearwater Fire Department, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and the United States Coast Guard, responded immediately to render aid. We're proud of the cooperative efforts between our agency's law enforcement partners and the state's attorney's office to bring justice to those impacted by this tragic event. FWC officers conducted a thorough investigation, which included reviewing surveillance video, analyzing physical evidence, and interviewing numerous witnesses. The United States Coast Guard conducted a concurrent investigation into the commercial vessel involved in the crash. Wonder what was the result of that. Obviously, no charges because no one was charged with the commercial vessel aspect of the crash. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission extends its heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of Jose Castro, as well as to all those injured and affected by this incident. So there you go. There's more information. Charged, Jeff Knight. Jeff Knight, owner of Jannus, prominent businessman. So we'll see what happens here with this case. I spoke to the attorney of Jeff Knight a few months back when this incident happened and said that Jeff Knight, actually, the people on his boat, the people that were involved on the other boat, called 911, and Knight talked to authorities but told authorities he had to leave because there was somebody on his boat, a very young child, that he had to get to safety too. So it will be interesting to see if it's actually he gets convicted of leaving the scene of an accident. But he's also charged with numerous other misdemeanor counts. We'll see what happens here on JLR Investigates, reporting from the Tampa Bay area on the waters out there. Stay safe while you're boating out there. We are watching this case very, very closely, and if it goes to trial, we'll go attend and see what's up. Sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Praying for all the victims out there and everyone out there involved in this terrible, terrible incident. Clearwater Ferry, boat captain. Some of the victims' families are probably very happy here that accountability is there. So we'll see. We'll listen in. We'll listen to both sides of the situation. It'll be an interesting case to follow. We'll talk soon. JLR Investigates. Stay tuned.